This is Pink Flock Yellow Boots from Behavior, working towards achieving holistic health for everybody. As children, we've had a lot of issues, concerns, opinion differences with our parent as we grew up, which led to a lot of rift and at times became a permanent distance between us and them. The same goes for parents. As parents, we have had issues, concerns, situations that we had to deal with as our children grew up, had their own opinion and thought process. In general, we term it as a generation gap. For children, as they grow up, they are still in a stage where they can understand cognitively the difference that is happening between them and their parents. Acknowledging that our parents had their own time growing up, they had their own social conditioning, they had to go through the generational cultural learning that they have been preached as they were being brought up. Their upbringing, their society, their surrounding all led to who they are today. And more importantly, understand that it isn't easy to break out of it. It is important to learn that just as they are, we will be having our own difficulty as we cross that path. We will be learning our things, we would be having our beliefs, we would be sticking to our points as we grow up with our own set of things, thoughts, views, based on where, how we are growing. More importantly, it is important to forgive our parents for not being able to break out of that cultural, social conditioning, not being able to heal the trauma they have been through, not being able to understand or reason things with us because there was nobody for them and they never learned how to do it. Think of it as them being individuals, not just your parents or our parents, because as humans they also had a life, they also had an upbringing, they are also bound to make mistakes and go through life as we are going through it. They had their own set of situations they had to deal with, and through that they learned their things. Of course, as parents we expect them, we look up to them and always see them in a light that is bright and rightful. But as we grow up, reality has to hit us and tell us that they are humans too. They are bound to make mistakes, they have their own trauma, they have their own upbringing, their own conditioning, and their own set of things that are going on inside them that we might not even be aware of. A lot of parents who have been emotionally unavailable give it the benefit of doubt that maybe they never had somebody who was emotionally available to them. They never learned how to be emotionally available. Making a change is difficult. Making a change takes a lot of effort beyond just existing in a lifetime where you are constantly working to provide for the basic necessities, growing and taking care of, running the house and raising the children. Through this, we can also make a mental note of not being rigid, trying to heal our own traumas, breaking through social, cultural, upbringing based conditioning, being more in touch with ourselves, being self aware, being consciously present to make the difference that we couldn't find for ourselves, rather than just running into a race that keeps everybody locked in the system of survival. As parents, we can learn that regardless of how much time has passed, regardless of how things have turned out, the change that we are capable of making is only in ourselves. No matter how long it has been, there is always a chance to look inside, try to heal things that have been bothersome, try to be more emotionally in touch with ourselves so we can provide better for our children. Mending the broken bridge between parents and children will take effort from both sides. learning the difference that has happened between the time that has passed while we were growing up and while they have been growing up in, as both become and step into adulthood. It is important to realize that both are individuals that have their own set of thoughts, views, behavior, and more importantly, not trying to bring each other to our own set of things and principles, but being more understanding of each other, where we come from, what has shaped us into who we have become, and bridging the gap, if not by accepting each other's point of views, situations, but acknowledging the difference and being on the same page, trying to reach a common place where you and them can exist peacefully in a healthy manner, trying to be there for each other, forgiving each other for things that we are unable to think through or change, so as to come in a place where the generation gap that is mentioned so often can be bridged a little. We can still be in and around the same page to form better, healthier bonds with our parents and our children, and most of the time forgiving and letting go if that change is not possible for one of us or both of us, to stop the friction that is causing more distance between the two. Forgiving for not being able to be there, forgiving for not passing on certain skills, forgiving selves for not knowing certain skills, without trying to change each other and settling for a peaceful environment that would help everyone's mental health. Take care, have a good week ahead.